Letter 26 to the Honourable Daines Barrington, Selborne, November 1st, 1775. Dear Sir, Hic tede pingues, hic plurimus ignis, semper et assidua postes filigine nigri. Reader's Note. With me you will find a hearth and pitchy brands, with me a good fire ever blazing, and doorposts black with soot. Translation by H.R. Fairclough. End note. I shall make no apology for troubling you with the detail of a very simple piece of domestic economy, being satisfied that you think nothing beneath your attention that tends to utility. The matter alluded to is the use of rushes instead of candles, which I am well aware prevails in many districts besides this. But as I know there are countries also where it does not obtain, and as I have considered the subject with some degree of exactness, I shall proceed in my humble story, and leave you to judge of the expediency. The proper species of rush for this purpose seems to be the Juncus ephysus, or common soft rush, which is to be found in most moist pastures, by the sides of streams and under hedges. These rushes are in best condition in the height of summer, but may be gathered, so as to serve the purpose well, quite on to autumn. It would be needless to add that the largest and longest are best. Decayed labourers, women, and children make it their business to procure and prepare them. As soon as they are cut, they must be flung into water, and kept there. For otherwise they will dry and shrink, and the peel will not run. At first a person would find it no easy matter to divest a rush of its peel or rind, so as to leave one regular, narrow, even rib from top to bottom, that may support the pith. But this, like other feats, soon becomes familiar even to children, and we have seen an old woman, stone blind, performing this business with great dispatch, and seldom failing to strip them with the nicest regularity. When these junci are thus far prepared, they must lie out on the grass to be bleached, and take the dew for some nights, and afterwards be dried in the sun. Some address is required in dipping these rushes in the scalding fat or grease, but this knack also is to be obtained with practice. The careful wife of an industrious Hampshire labourer obtains all her fat for nothing, for she saves the skirmings of her bacon pot for this use, and, if the grease abounds with salt, she causes the salt to precipitate to the bottom, by setting the scummings in a warm oven. Where hogs are not much in use, and especially by the seaside, the coarser animal oils will come very cheap. A pound of common grease may be procured for 4d, and about 6 pounds of grease will dip a pound of rushes, and 1 pound of rushes may be bought for 1 shilling, so that a pound of rushes, medicated and ready for use, will cost 3 shillings. If men that keep bees will mix a little wax with the grease, it will give it a consistency, and render it more cleanly, and make the rushes burn longer. Mutton suet would have the same effect. A good rush, which measured in length 2 feet 4 inches and a half, being minuted, burnt only 3 minutes short of an hour, and a rush still of greater length has been known to burn 1 hour and a quarter. These rushes give a good clear light. Watch-lights, coated with tallow, it is true, shed a dismal one, darkness visible, but then the wicks of those have 2 ribs of the rind or peel to support the pith, while the wick of the dipped rush has but 1. The 2 ribs are intended to impede the progress of the flame and make the candle last. In a pound of dry rushes, avoirdupois, which I caused to be weighed and numbered, we found upwards of 1,600 individuals. Now, suppose each of these burns, one with another, only half an hour, then a poor man will purchase 800 hours of light, a time exceeding 33 entire days, for 3 shillings. According to this account, each rush, before dipping, costs 1/33 of a farthing, and 1/11 afterwards. Thus a poor family will enjoy 5½ hours of comfortable light for a farthing. An experienced old housekeeper assures me that 1 pound and a half of rushes completely supplies his family the year round. Since working people burn no candle in the long days, because they rise and go to bed by daylight. Little farmers use rushes much in the short days, both morning and evening in the dairy and kitchen, but the very poor, who are always the worst economists, and therefore must continue very poor, buy a halfpenny candle every evening, which, in their blowing open rooms, does not burn much more than 2 hours. Thus have they only 2 hours light for their money instead of 11. While on the subject of rural economy, it may not be improper to mention a pretty implement of housewifery that we have seen nowhere else. That is, little neat besoms which our foresters make from the stalk of the Polytrichum commune, or great golden maidenhair, which they call silkwood, and find plenty in the bogs. When this moss is well combed and dressed, and divested of its outer skin, it becomes of a beautiful bright chestnut colour, and, being soft and pliant, is very proper for the dusting of beds, curtains, carpets, hangings, etc. If these besoms were known to the brushmakers in town, it is probable they might come much in use for the purpose above mentioned. Footnote: a besom of this sort is to be seen in Sir Ashton Lever's museum. End footnote. I am, etc.